autonomous aircraft. Maybe it's becoming true when people are talking about autonomous vehicles. Very few people really pay attention to autonomous aircraft, and there are some startups that are really working on this. In fact, Xwings is a startup that working on this. They just completed a fully automated gate-to-gate flight without any pilot input. That's really really impressive because that's such a hard task. Definitely, they had a safety pilot sitting there. The pilot did not give any input to the plane, so that's why I see this is very very groundbreaking stuff. I'm not really sure it's the first one in the history, but definitely one of the few. And Xwings since the quite a promising startups doing this. And there are several challenges it needs to overcome. For example, when you fly a airplane, it's very different from you drive a car, because when you drive a car, you just need to focus on your car. You don't have to like communicate with other cars. But when you fly an airplane, you will need to communicate with a control towers, and so that you can know the situations around you. And that communication definitely will be done in in nowadays, like it's been done in English. So you need to be able to speak the languages, human languages, to really communicate with other control towers. And so that part is super hard to be done via the AI now, because you will need to develop some natural language understanding, natural language processing techniques, which is far beyond autonomous vehicles or aircraft capability. Because at the same time, you need to develop an autonomous aircraft things, or you also need to develop some certain level of AI capabilities in terms of languages. So there's double challenges. And what Xwings plan to do is they don't plan to automate the communication with air traffic control. They will have their people, their ground operators, sitting in their control room and talk to the control towers, air traffic control, on the behavior of the plane. So that's how they solve this issue. They would still use humans to do this part of control communication thing, but like for the aircraft, turning right, turning left, and some other operations, the aircraft, they will be done by the AI, by their AI. So eventually, they want to remove the safety pilots. They won't be easy, because there will still be a lot of risks if you remove it now. It won't happen anytime soon, but that's their ultimate goal. They are also looking into carrying this kind of self-flying techniques to commercial cargo flights, and now they will be able to do some experiments with safety pilots. In the end, they will still want to remove that, and I think that will be easier to do this with commercial cargo flights, because if you say today I will fly you with our AI pilots, you'll probably be scared. You probably don't want to take the plane at all. But if it's a cargo flights, it's easier, because cargos, they are not humans. They won't complain. So it's easier to adapt these techniques to commercial cargo flights, in my opinion. So I think this is part of their business model, and they're looking into this. I believe they will probably succeed, as they already have some very awesome technology. It's a very hard industry, because you need to combine the Silicon Valley technology, the AI latest technology, and also you need to have a lot of elite pilots to work in your projects. It's not just a pure tech. You need to have like a conjunction of two very different industry. So that's why it's challenging, and it also just hits after this gate-to-gate fully automated flights. It also just did something great in the funding. They hit the $400 million valuation after that experimental flights. I think that's a good thing that attracts a lot of investors' attention. And that's good to have. There's such a groundbreaking technology. Really needs a lot of capital. So I am pretty excited of seeing this, and hope it will have more breakthroughs in the future. I know it'll be super difficult to really fully automate the commercial flights, the big one, the Boeing 477. It's almost impossible because at least now in the decades, it's just so hard because the plane is so expensive and the risk is so high. You carrying so many people, right? And the salary of the pilots compared to the risk that you all have is just a small. But that's why automate these kind of small class flights or cargo flights, it's much easier. So that's a good direction to go to. Alright, so that's all for today. If you would like to receive more technology reviews, videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Your subscription is really my best encouragement to make more videos like this. Other than that, I will see you next time.